We're in the living room of playwright Jonathan Padget, the man behind The Blue Lagoon, the musical, and you're looking at the actual Blue Lagoon. You're also looking at a bit of the camera microphone, and I apologize for that. It mars what was otherwise a wonderful interview with Mr. Padget, who reveals his Fringe-like playmaking technique, which involves trips to the dollar store and Target, among other secrets of the briny deep. So sit back and enjoy.
I'm really fond of the fish, actually. They're from Target, but can you see their eyes, Googler? I have two of them. If you go to the dollar store on U Street, you can get blue light bulbs for 50 cents each. Well, because this is $1, and you use the blue one, you've only paid 50 cents for it. So I'm going to put blue lights above the audience, actually. There's recessed lighting in Playbill, and I'm using the commercial light over the stage, and I'm supplementing it with the recessed lighting around the rooms. But so I'm going to have white lights over the stage, but over the audience I'm going to do the pale blue light. So to kind of contribute to that sort of ethereal, strange quality that I'm going for. The pool comes from Rite Aid. It's a $14.99 set budget for the pool itself. The set budget was set after I purchased the pool, because I said, oh, the pool costs $14.99. There's my set budget right there. So, yeah, it's really come together in a fun way. Like, I mean, really how I envisioned it, in terms of using the commercial stuff in such a way that it kind of just makes it kind of like you have a weird dream, like like you drink too much or you eat too much, and you're like, God, I had the strangest dream. It's like, you remember the Blue Lagoon with, with those two actors? But it's like I was in the Blue Lagoon, but it was a pool, and the people looked different, and there was strange music going on, and I think it works, but we have to see what the audience thinks first. So the material is very super broad. I guess the tendency is to call it campy. I don't know that it's high camp or like camp in the truest sense of the word, but it is very, very broad. It's very, in my mind, I feel like it's more like a Carol Burnett skit, circa 1973. If you could like really make direct references to incest and sex and things like that, but with the music, which is turned out to be this sort of kind of very like the sort of driving early 80s pop Broadway ballad, with these very gushy lyrics that have, extreme, sexual connotations, but you're not actually saying anything dirty. It's just, but when you put all these words together, like plunging and splashing and kicking and thrusting, and it all just becomes, it just becomes like a, 1982 sex fantasy, and it's just very funny that way. And they just, the actors are just embracing it and running with it, and which is exactly what I wanted them to do. I've got my great Yamaha keyboard, which gives me some string action in addition to the keyboard sound, and I get drum beats out of it, and I get exploding sound effects, and anything that I need that way all comes out of here. I've got a dimmer from Logan Hardware that plugs in to my light right beside the keyboard, so I can like keep the I just have this plugged in, and I keep this next to me so I can control the lights while I'm sitting at the keyboard, so I don't have to have a light board operator. Not that I wouldn't have a light board operator, but I'm about maxed out on what I can invest in this project before I have to get some money back. So that was one of my little cut corner concessions, and I still have to write light cues in my script, because when we went through it on Sunday, I would be playing along, and I'm like, oh shit, I forget, the lights have to change here and whatever. So I'm working that out, and it's just fun. It's just such a great way to do a show, and theater is one of the forms that you really can get into with minimal expense. It's all sweat equity or whatever the word is, but it's like even, I know you can make films on the cheap, but probably not as cheap as what I'm doing for this. So and it's and because I'm doing pretty much all aspects of it, the direction and the design and writing the material and all of that, it's just it's really allowed me to, some of this I've done in the past, some of it I haven't. It allows me to just figure out, what do I really enjoy the most about it? What would I like to do again? Do I want to do the entire thing again next time? Probably not if it's more than 2 people and in this sort of like straightforward 45 minutes to an hour sort of thing. But you kind of get my sea legs, if you will, on this kind of project. And then if I want to do something else, then can I afford to bring in more people? Do it in a different venue? Do I do something else at Fringe next year or the year after that? Or do I take this project and maybe it can be done in other context in another town or another context here? Or there's just any number of things. But if I don't do anything else, if I only do these four performances during Fringe, that will have been a great accomplishment for me, because I will have done it myself, and with help, the help of my partner, who's helping with lots of things and box office and all of these things, or or the actors and whatnot. Like I'm not trying to take all the credit, but I'm just figuring out what I'm capable of doing, and I hope it's something worthwhile and enjoyable. But we have to see. I'm not the one to make to make that call. So we'll see what happens.